Fusion starts today, and the internet has been so quiet about it. Let's change that right now. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing this morning? We are exhausted, but we're on the test server. Thank you so much to Polarium for letting us on the test server. I'm going to be showcasing the new Fusion in Hydra with a very accessible team of champions that you probably actually this time have all of. But before we jump into that, I want to go over the Fusion calendar with you guys because it's very interesting to me. Accidental Mug Club bump. We're in the process of getting the test ones printed, made, potted, whatever. And that should be coming to me in the mail shortly. I just clicked on the wrong picture. I meant to click on this one, for reals. Okay, so if we take a look at this Fusion calendar, the very first thing that you want to take note of is behind me here. There's a total of 130 points. It's going to be tough until I start getting some more sleep. But that means that you're going to have 10 extra points to play with. If you take a look at the two summoning events, they are 15 and 15. So what that means is you need to summon on both weekends, this weekend and next weekend, for these two summon events. Or you need to win some tournaments, okay? You need to win some tournaments. If you take a look at the champion training tournament, there's a bonus 10 points in there for the winner, I'm assuming. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe that's what it is. And then the champion chase tournament, a bonus 10 for the winner of that one. I don't know. That sounds appealing if you can win that. And champion training is like one of the best things you can do for your account anyway. I don't really have silver on the free-to-play, but I do have a fire video planned for later today on that account, so make sure you check back later. It's wild and crazy. This seems pretty normal to me, you know, stacked with this weekend and then next weekend with a little bit in between. Tell me if you feel like anything's out of place here. This seems like it's going to be a little bit tough because you're required to summon on both weekends. But as long as you can do that and you have shards saved, it's probably going to be just like any other fusion. And what you really want to know is, are you going to make this fusion happen on your account? And my answer is probably yes. Alright, so here we have our new fusion, Strategos Islin, and I'm not skipping this. I would like to not skip it on the free-to-play, even though I'll never have books for him, but I'm definitely not skipping it on the main because his kit is really unique, okay? This is the build I will be using for the clan boss team, the Hydra clan boss team today. But this is not a crazy build. This is a very accessible build for you guys. So if we take a look at his kit, I want to point out some similarities, okay? And I'm going to compare him to one of the best champions in the game, and you should take note, all right? So, on the A1, he has a provoke. Each hit has a 35-50% chance of placing provoke. When counterattacking, the chance increases to 50%. That's not important for Hydra, where I think it's going to be his best place. But also, he's going to be S tier for Magma Dragon, and that will be amazing there. Not that you probably need help in Magma Dragon. His A2 is 100% chance of placing decreased speed for 2 turns. And then before attacking, decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. So if they are holding down block debuffs for some reason, then you can remove that and then place the decreased speed, which is amazing. Also, guys, this is a defense-based champion, and if we flip back, like 15-20 base defense, almost 20k HP, his base stats are nice, okay? Then his A3 which is not as good as I was hoping it would be, is ally protection, increased defense on all allies for 2 turns, and then a counter attack on himself, a shield on himself, and the shield's proportional to his defense. Number 1, I thought the shield was on the whole team. And Plarium, I think you should change that to be true. I know the whole point is put ally protection on the team, and then he uses the shield to protect himself. But after seeing the way that he works, I think this shield needs to go on everyone, or, crazy as it may sound, he needs another buff here. Like, if he put like an increased crit rate buff on himself or something. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he is not a good mischief tank. He only has 1 extra buff, and that's counterattack, and it makes it very inconsistent for him to get targeted, and I'm going to show you that in the run today. Also, this is on a 3-turn cooldown for the decreased speed, and this is on a 4-turn cooldown. So he's got a nice cycle of abilities here, and his passive is really nice as well. He's going to heal himself and others, which is really cool. And then his aura is nice. Everything about his kit is good, the whole thing, and it works really, really well together. So we have a provoke on the A1, and guess who has a provoke on his kit, right? Krisk has a provoke in his kit. Now, Krisk also has the increased speed, which we don't have that anywhere in his kit, so we have to run somebody else for increased speed. But that's fine, because a lot of times you do that anyway with Krisk, because he doesn't put the increased speed on himself. And you want the increased speed on Krisk as well, so a lot of times you end up running a second increased speed champion. So I don't really consider that big of a deal, okay? Now, on his A2, he has a 100% chance of placing decreased speed. Krisk does decreased speed on his A1, and it's a 50% chance. So we get a buff to the A1. You get a buff to the decreased speed ability. I like that Krisk's A1 is AoE, but I also like that his is single target, because then we don't have to get feared depending on what team we're using, okay? And then the A3, we still have the ally protection and the survivability that Krisk provides. The only difference is he has increased the duration of all ally buffs, and our fusion has decreased the duration of all enemy buffs. And that's on a different ability. However, his kit is really good, and with everything that he provides, he's going to allow you space to put more abilities in your Hydra team. I don't think that this is a champion that you should skip the fusion for unless you're already taking down Nightmare, Brutal, and Hard. If you're doing that, you have a huge roster, then maybe you could skip him, but you still might want him, okay? I think he looks cool. Some other content creators are saying he looks generic. I don't think that at all. I think he looks amazing, and I definitely want him on my account because this combination of moves is really, really potent. I think that the A1 being single target is a little bit tough because that makes it way better if you're manualing it, but with the Hydra Clash, we're probably manualing it anyway. So here's the build we're going to use for him. You want accuracy and resistance, you want defense, and you want some kind of speed. I don't know if these are stats that, like, mid to late game players can hit. I don't know that. But I think that it is because I'm not using any kind of crazy gear here, right? I'm using these old school offense gauntlets. They did get a really sick defense ascension, and all of the stats are great, but obviously this is an offset piece, right? And then over here we have a defense percent chest, which you could easily switch to resistance or accuracy if needed. You'll notice I have a blood shield accessory here, and that is to help him being targeted by Mischief. However, it would be good if you had a backup Mischief tank, and so we are going to do that as well in my team. Okay, before we jump into the video today, I just wanted to do a couple of things. Number one, I mentioned later in the video doing a damage test on him, and in case everybody doesn't make it all the way to the end of the video, I wanted to slip that in here because I think he has good multipliers. Number two, I put out 2 videos yesterday. They both have gem giveaways and rewards that you can win. Make sure you go check those out. I don't want you to miss those. So let's see his damage potential. All right, so Dragon 20. He's blue, Dragon's blue. We got a defense aura, decreased defense and weaken, increased defense. He's a defense-based champion. Let's see what he can do. Decreased defense and weaken. Our increased defense and hex, and then our A2. Wowzers! That was some nice damage. We did not have decreased defense here. I'm startled. I'm surprised. There's 23, 24k, reasonable A1. Like, better than Newt there, right? Wowzers. I am in disbelief right now. Okay, let's see another A1 here. Yeah, in the 30s. Here's the decreased defense and weaken. Yeah, okay. And then let's slow it down. Oh, let's do the increased defense. Okay. So, on his A2, we have like over 100k. Now, he is in Savage here. Hold on, let's look at the build. All right, he is in Savage and Defiant here. He doesn't have ridiculous stats, but like 5,300 defense, 254 crit damage, and we were in a pretty ideal scenario there. But I don't have like a bunch of ascended gear on him or anything, so definitely could be higher. Let me know what you think about those multipliers, and I'm going to switch him back. Well, I don't need to switch him back, but in the video, he'll be in his Relentless build, and so I'll go over that so you can see it, and we'll jump into the Hydra Run. We'll do all the things. Enjoy. We had some really great results. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think. Let me know if you're going to go for this fusion after seeing this. Let me know in the comments. So let's take a look at that team and jump into the run. I think you're going to be really pleased with the results here. All right, so I want to do this on Brutal, and this is not going to be crazy damage, but I think we can one key with this team. So let me show you here, okay? So we have Mythrala in the lead with her accuracy aura, and that's really going to help us in locking down the accuracy requirements. I think that that's a really important note. If you're having a hard time hitting the accuracy or resistance requirements for Hydra, put an aura in there that will help you with that, okay? We also have Newt in here. We have Artak in here, the Fusion. All of those are champions you should have. And then we have 2 epics in here that are very commonly used. I purposefully did not change the blessing on the 2 legendaries because I know a lot of you don't have a lot of blessings, so I didn't want to include a lot of blessings, but it would be great if somebody had cruelty in here. Normally I would put that on Artak, but a 5-star cruelty, you're unlikely to have that, so I just wanted this to be as relatable as possible. Okay, let's look at the setup so I can mention a couple things. The toughest build on the account is Mythrala, I think, because that's my normal Mythrala build. And I didn't go change her gear. I didn't, make her weaker. It's just my normal build that I use, and I quite like this build. We already saw his stats, Islin. I think these are manageable. Maybe you can't get 6,000 defense. Maybe you get 5,000 defense, right? But the resistance needs to be over 400, and the accuracy definitely needs to be over 300. We do have some wiggle room because of the aura. Newt, always, always, always turn off his counterattack ability unless you're building him with resistance. This is my normal Newt build as well. His speed might be a little bit tough for some of you to get because he's in Relentless. But you don't have to build him in Relentless. You could just build him with like a speed set or something. Artak is in a terrible build. I'm going to just tell you right now. He's in a terrible build, and it's going to cause problems in the team. But I didn't rebuild him because I didn't want the team to be overpowered. He's in like regen with like resistance and accuracy because I was trying him out in hard ice golem. I don't have the stats to make that work, but it's fine, okay? Ideally, he would be about 40 speed faster here, and we don't care about resistance on him at all. We don't care about regen on him, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that can be improved about this build, but again, I purposely left it like that. Ugo in the 250 range, 400 accuracy. Inquisitor Shamail, I have built slow with some resistance. Not quite enough, I'll be honest. It needs to be more resistance. But I wanted a secondary mischief tank, and he's a reasonable stand-in. And then sometimes Mithrala will get targeted as well, and then she's really good to go. The most important thing I want to mention here is this is an easy 1 key for hard. And so if you don't want to mess with brutal, then just run this on hard and get your 1 key. Now, if you want to start hitting brutal, your goal should be to have a mischief tank around the 230 range, and then everybody else around the 250 range. That is the best way to improve your brutal team, or really get your first brutal team started. I know I'm long-winded today on this, but I think this is really important, okay? So in this team, we have Hex, increase defense, increase attack, shields, and those shields are going to protect everybody alongside of our fusion. We do have Inquisitor Shamail in Guardian, and putting somebody in a Guardian set is really helpful for Hydra. It helps your survivability so much, especially because we don't have a Reviver in this team. If at all possible, you want an HP burn champion in there, that's a really easy way to get a lot of damage. And also you want decrease attack so you don't just die. Newt is Newt. He's going to do chunky big damage, which is great, especially combined with Hex. And then obviously we have Ugo in here for decreased defense and block buffs. And then Inquisitor Shamail, we have a different rotation of the Hydra on the test server, but also the Fearhead here is really good. I would actually in this team take Inquisitor Shamail out and put in somebody else, probably either a damage dealer or a reviver, depending on the situation, which heads, which rotation it is, if the Head of Torment is not there, because the damage is not fast enough in this team. The builds aren't crazy endgame. I mean, tell me I'm wrong in the comments. I look forward to it. But yeah, Inquisitor Shamail is kind of a flex spot here until you would upgrade and be able to do more damage. So let's jump into the run. I'm super pumped to get started with you guys on this team. Alright, so I got my rogue energy going over here, and we're probably going to want to just manual this, okay? Our goal is to 1 key brutal. That is our goal. One note that I really want to point out here is that there's no Sun Wukong in this team. And if you want to run Sun Wukong in this team, then do you see how Artak's being targeted there? Because I guess he's the slowest one in the team, or close, and the fusion doesn't have enough buffs. So anyway, I think that he could use one more buff so that he could be a good mischief tank. But what I was saying about Sun Wukong is you can replace Ugo with Sun Wukong easily, and then that would let you play any other decreased defense champion. It would let you put Lydia in the team, for example, which would be good because there's no increased speed in this team. That is one thing that would make it a lot better. If you had an increased speed champion in here, then you would have the ability to be taking a lot more turns. Also a turn meter booster. So if you had increased speed, turn meter boost, all of those things would be really helpful. But I didn't want to make the team super overpowered. I want it to be relatable to you. So we're going to play through this, but you can see an actual reasonable amount of damage per turn. And it seems like our team is pretty stable here, although in testing, there can be some sketchy points. But with Mythrala, that was the reason why I added her in here for some additional support. I really wanted to use Akamtum in this team. I really did. He's so super good and a very underrated champion for Hydra. That's a very good champion if you need Hex in your team, and he can be a good damage dealer as well. But we needed some extra support with Mythrala since I wasn't going to add any like crazy champions here. I wanted it to be predictable. And see, we got 3%ed there on Islin. I don't even know how to say his name. But what I love the most about his kit is not his defensive capabilities, actually. I love that he's a great decreased speed champion, because it's 2 turns on the decreased speed. It's a 3-turn cooldown. It can get rid of buffs that have been on there. I just love it so much. Like, his A2 is my favorite ability, and then the A1 is my second favorite. And that really surprised me. I thought that I was going to love the A3, but as it turns out, I really don't. I really don't like the A3. It's a little bit awkward, but he just allows you to do so many things. You're combining abilities together, and that is something that you don't get very often. I think you're going to regret it if you skip this fusion. That's my opinion, and you heard it here first. Oh, jeez. Ugo died there because we took too long to free Mythrala, and our abilities were out of whack. Oh, jeez. All right, well, here we go, okay? We're on 22 million, and we got pretty unlucky on this run. So I feel like this is a reasonable expectation. And here's another great reminder if you're working on a brutal team like this, is just whenever you're running this, if you have Inquisitor Shamail in your team, then you are looking for the Head of Torment to respawn, and we didn't get that. If the Head of Torment had respawned, this would easily be a 1 key, and so with just a little bit better RNG or some quick like gear swaps, I think we would be perfectly fine. So we got 22.35. That's not that far off. So let me go ahead and show you those builds, and then I will probably just rerun that real quick so that you can, yes, I have them at the top, so that you can see what's what. Okay, so we have a healthy amount of stats here on the Ugo, okay? Nothing crazy, just speed and relentless as per the usual. Here's my normal Newt build. It's a little decent. It's decent. I tried to slow him down. Oh, I forgot about that. I did slow him down. Normally he's like 10, 15 speed faster or something. I did try to slow him down for you guys. And then we have this guy, the fusion, who we already showed. We have Shamail in the Guardian set with an Immortal set. And you can see here he's kind of slow. Maybe we don't need anybody in Guardian. And it would be better if we take him out of that and just make him faster. So I'll probably try that in the next run. And then who else is in this team and why are they not at the top of my list? That's kind of confusing. Here's Mythrala. Here's her build. Not trying to say this is accessible, but you don't need all of this on her. And then who's the last one? The Artak? Is that the only one that we need to show? Artak, where are you? Up at the top here. So the RTAC build is garbage, okay? It's definitely garbage. So what I'll do is I'll put him in Relentless, and I'll put him up around 250 speed. That's what you need. And then all you need is to get that accuracy up a little bit as well. So I'm going to make a couple changes. I'm going to take Shamail out of Guardian. I'm going to make RTAC and Shamail faster. And we're going to try to see if we can get that one key here. But I'm not going to, make you sit through the run or anything. Well, I'll be right back, and you'll be able to see the run. Okay, so here's the RTAC build. I went accuracy and relentless. I feel like that would be a little more relatable. I just put HP percent, chest, and gauntlets on him. 250 speed, much better accuracy. Alright, so here's the Shamail build. I didn't bother switching the 2 Guardian pieces, just consider those offset pieces. I put 2 speed pieces on here, and either way, just getting him faster, I think, is the main thing. I did leave the resistance on there just because it was already in the build, and actually made it a little bit better. So let's hop into the run. Now, one thing to note here about the run, I'm going to just basically let this run on auto and then see what the result is, because I'm hungry and I'm going to go eat breakfast with my wife and son, and then I'm going to come back and see what the damage is, and it'll be a surprise for both of us. Let's jump in here on turn 29. The Fearhead just respawned, so that's much better for us anyway. I'm loving this version. This is much, much better. Hey, and there's the 1 key. All right. So this does much, much better, and really all we needed to make this happen was a couple little gear changes, and for a little bit of RNG to be on our side, we needed the Head of Torment to pop in the first 2 rotations, right? We killed a bunch of heads. We have enough damage in the team to do that. And all we needed was the Head of Torment to pop back up 1 time. But either way, let's fast forward to the end for reals and see what kind of damage this is really capable of. But as I said, this team is pretty solid. Okay, well, that was quick. We did not land block buffs on the Head of Wrath, and then he killed everybody. So this is going to end up being wrapped up right around here. But if we would have had decrease attack or the block buffs on the Head of Wrath, then this would be, easily 40, 50 million, something like that. I think there's definitely a lot of potential here. And the A1 just holding it down with the provokes. So this is almost over, and then we will wrap up the video here. Alright, so nice 1 key for like your first type of brutal Hydra team, or a strategy that's going to be really amazing on hard Hydra. If we found a way to include a reviver in this team, this could be a really strong team as well. So Mithrala coming in with 9.5, RTAC 9.9, Islin again 2, Newt 8, and then Shamail 3.7. So pretty good damage spread here. And then that's going to, keep spreading out, I guess. I don't know. With those 3, they're kind of keeping up with each other. Really, really decent team here. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I will see you guys in the next video.